Round 2, currently 1-0 on the play, which is nice. So we're going to need this Jace to get us a land, and then we should be good. I could fetch a Plains off this Evolving Wilds, which seems like I should probably do, but I do have this Deep Fiend I need to cast too, but I have way more blue sources than white sources, so oh well. Might just discard that Deep Fiend, we'll see. Come on, Jace. Come on, Jace. Found a land, but ETB's tapped. I think that's okay against what appears to be a control deck. If we draw an untapped land, we could play Nissa and then play Tracker and get 2 clues off our wilds, which would be nice. Ailey? Whatever your name is. Well, how many creatures are they going to have in their deck? Is it going to be enough that I want to Reflector Mage some people? Deep Fiend is good against Languish. It's pretty good if I get Avacyned also. I don't feel like I want to play Reflector Mage. Maybe just like Advocate is bad because this thing has Death Touch. So I think I'm supposed to fetch Island, play Nissa, get Forest. Esper? Esper what? Esper, what the hell is happening? Well, if they have a counter spell, I can flip my Jace. If I hit a land, I definitely don't want to be playing Nissa this turn. That's not the counter spell. What is happening? All right, we don't have time for trackers. It was not what I thought was going to happen. Let's just put it that way. Still have no idea what's going on. Cute. Just adorable. So likely not getting Languished. That's what I'm guessing. Based on what my opponent's doing over here. Oh, come on. So if I Mage the Queller, Company, hit 2 creatures, I'm okay. Otherwise, if I Company, hit Mage 2 creatures into 2 creatures, then I'm great. But I definitely need to get rid of one of these Spell Quellers. So I think just Reflector Mage is the safest way to go. Yeah, backdoor outs of hitting Nissa, Pilgrim's Eye, and to cast Duskwatch too. So yeah, casting Reflector Mage was definitely right. Don't know how I win this game, though. Started off pretty far behind. Probably should have just cast that Advocate instead of discarding it. have been able to block this Strangler at some point. Kill my Nissa's whatever. Well, can't attack because of 2/3 Death Touch. Our Dusk Watches are going to transform unless they play Spell Queller, which they're not going to because they feel like they can use Queller to protect their Queller, which makes sense. So we're going to tap their blue sources. They're going to have to spell Queller now. But yeah, we're still in bad shape. Maybe should not have fetched this Plains. I don't know. Definitely should have cast Advocate, but didn't know what my opponent was up to. Strangler was obviously brutal. Now we have a better idea of what's going on, though. Which is nice. Should be helpful. Wonder if Arrogance is good. It probably is, just because they have Spell Queller. And they're trying to kill my stuff. So they didn't use their Spell Queller. Which is reasonable. So now it's like we can just mage their Spell Queller and play Advocate. But then they can play 2 Spell Quellers. So like if we company and hit like a Pilgrim's Eye, that would be excellent because then we could also just Reflector Mage. Interesting. I assume they don't have an ultimate price because they could have floated mana, priced one of my things, activated events, and killed me. So I think our best bet is to try and hit a Pilgrim's Eye off this, as far as actually trying to win the game. We failed. We failed miserably. I feel like Mage is fine, but not great. I don't know. Basically, you just want some things to kill Spell Queller. So now I have 24 hits off company, which is kind of low. It's like the lowest that I would reasonably consider going. the hell else is in my opponent's deck? So they have Price. They could have Reflector Mage. They should have Reflector Mage, right? So they should have a bunch of creatures. Magic's hard. I feel like their deck should not be a tough matchup, but I just kind of got beat up that game. All right. This is obviously not great. And Company into Tragic Arrogance is not exactly a combo, but having Recruiter on 2 is nice because we can just activate it on 3. That's definitely one of the better draws. Well, I guess we can't activate it on 3. Because they just had an Evolving Wilds. Well, I'm basically going to do stuff. There's no reason for me to like hold back and try and set up an Arrogance when they're not necessarily doing anything either, and I don't even have the second white quite yet. That's going to help. I'm not going to cast a spell, so I don't think there's any reason for me to loot right now. Anguished Unmaking. My opponent's deck is weird. It's like a Company right now, but they could still potentially have a Sweeper. It seems pretty bad to play a Sweeper in your Spell Queller deck, but what do I know? Alright, Liliana. That's a magic card, I guess. Is this like a Dispel? What's going on here? No Dispel. Alright, well, I like Nissa Tracker. Order doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I think this is fine. I could do things a little bit differently. Could leave Forest up, but then that kind of just advertises Dramoka's Command. They're at 8 life, which is certainly pretty low. So what's the deal here? What do I got to worry about? Rather just show the Mage, which is a card that I definitely have in my deck and they've definitely seen versus Dramoka's Command. And I guess I'll show the Lumbering Falls, because that probably doesn't matter all that much. Alright, so both of us got beat up pretty badly. Looked like my opponent was a little bit more controlling that game. Liliana Anguished Unmaking. Maybe these Deep Fiends are just not good. It seems like they're trying to make it so I don't have a board presence. Maybe third Tragic is just better. think I should still probably keep one. It's possible that like Clash is good. Possible that O Command is good. Maybe I want this Advocate to not get tempoed out. And like have more cheaper things to fight Liliana with. It's possible that I need Deep Fiend to like actually break through and attack Liliana. Seems better than the 4th Primal Druid if we're not going hard on Deep Fiend. Or Sidisi's Faithful. I feel like these Deep Fiends are probably good though. You know, 3 Arrogance, I probably don't need command, especially on the draw. Yeah, 4th Advocate, sure. Sure. Why not? Well, hand is D. This is definitely not good. We have 3 pseudo-dead ones. Probably should have looked at how many hits I had for company, too. Still 24, I think. Alright, so we need a land, a Nissa, a Primal Druid. We need some help. And I guess if that's the case, maybe we should have mulliganed. I mean, obviously, if our coast were like a prairie stream, or if our lumbering falls were a prairie stream or something, we would just snap this off. So, should probably just keep it. Especially if they're going super deep on whether or not they should mull to 5 or not. Again, Magic, not easy. Going deep in the tank. So deep. 6-card hand like a 1-lander or something? Like, maybe it was they were tanking on the scry, I don't know. Hard to say. I think I like leading Recruiter here because it's better if they just don't play a spell. And then if they have like Reflector Mage, then I can just play Advocate. They stone me, which is also okay. I'm definitely down with that. Land, please. Primal Druid, you're not a land. So I could crack the clue. I think I'd rather just get Advocate down. Especially because if I miss and don't hit a land, I'm just discarding, which sucks. This matchup seems like it's a lot about board presence. Waste is interesting. That means like Thought-Knot or Smasher? Now I think I just pass. Because I can't really do anything and I don't want to just get Spell Quellered for no reason. Dragon Lord Ojutai, hello. Yeah, maybe if I was going to crack the clue, I should have done it main to hit my land drop, because would have drawn Lumbering Falls, I think, is what I drew on the turn, and then, yeah, then I drew Tracker. So I could have potentially cast a Company this turn. Ojutai Spell Queller is nice. That is nice. Cloud Nixilis. Alright, so that's gonna die. I guess we could just company now. God, Pilgrim's Eye one time? Pilgrim's Eye every time? Never lucky. Never lucky. Perhaps 3 Tragics was too many. Maybe I overestimated how many creatures my opponent actually had. So good against Spell Queller, though. And I would expect my opponent to have Reflector Mage, too, so it's like Queller, Mage, some Eileys, a decent amount of Stranglers. Apparently they have Ojutai, which Arrogance should be decent against. Yeah, right now, Sidisi's Faithful would just be insane, because if I drew a land, I could go like Druid, Sec, Druid to Faithful, bounce your Ojutai, ramp up to 6, have 2 full-powered Advocates. Instead, I'm just dying to this dragon. Curious about that Wastes. Yeah, that's a thing. It's pretty sad how poorly Deep Fiend interacts with Ojutai. It's also pretty sad how no matter what, I can't cast an Arrogance. I assume at this point they have a Spell Queller. I'm in a tight spot here. All we need is 1 Pilgrim's Eye. Just turn that around, though. Pilgrim's Eye solving all my issues. Was a Thought Knot? Kalidas, that's pretty good. Yeah, I should have responded. Now they get a free zombie. Not smart. Not smart. Ugh. No! Pilgrim's Eye, where are you?